Hello there, welcome back to the channel, and this is an update episode. So I'm going to be quick on a much earlier episode I did, something like a year ago, on Crewman Daniels or Agent Daniels of the Temporal Cold War. New canon has been added to this character, so therefore I thought a slight update was in order. Before we get started, if you like the content on this channel, you've been enjoying any of it, please like, share, and subscribe, as that all helps the channel grow, and it is greatly appreciated. With that said, on to this. So, a bit of backstory. Who are we talking about? Daniels was a time agent, representative from the far distant future when we encountered him in the 22nd century, from a very far off distant future timeline of some kind, where the Federation was all great, but there were different factions trying to alter time, and he was part of the Federation's efforts to prevent such alterations in the timeline, enforcing the so-called Temporal Accords, where all the major powers who'd achieved the ability to control time travel on some level all agreed, let's not mess with that because it can go wrong. Let's look at the Krenim for how that can go horribly wrong, or horribly right, depending on your point of view, but for everyone around them, definitely horribly wrong. So everybody agreed, yeah, we won't mess with that, but obviously there's always criminals, and criminals gonna criminal. Once the technology was out there, Pandora's box is open, so enforcers had to be put in place to prevent it. Daniels, Agent Daniels, which I always presumed was a code name, he wasn't going to go back in time and use his real name, but I suppose who in the 22nd century is going to know he's actually called Daniels, but then there's the enemy. Kind of a bad decision, really. I mean, the Suliban could have been told, well, yeah, there's this guy. It's called Daniels. Don't know what name you've been going by now. Well, there's a crew member aboard the Enterprise called Daniels who always seems to be around. Yeah, that's him. Anyway, he was an agent who worked with Captain Archer on numerous occasions to thwart the efforts of the Suliban and the Tholians, possibly, as well as the Nakul, going back in time to the 20th century to subvert human history, which was the last point in the continuity of the timeline that we actually encountered him. And from then on, the timelines were all supposedly restored. But the updated information is in the 32nd century, when the USS Discovery arrives. One of the people they encounter is a human by the name of Dr. Kovich. Kovich is representative on some level of the Federation, some shadowy agency, which, to be honest, I'm not going to lie, I thought was Section 31, and let's face it, there's still a chance that it is, and that he was one of the ones they would encounter, and he would start debriefing them, he would interrogate them, he would also be the one who would be issuing out weird orders like the Red Directives. He'd be coordinating all the sort of shadowy covert operations and determining what is and isn't classified over the next couple of years of their arrival in the quadrant. It wasn't until the later events which actually led up to and then were included in the Red Directive that was incorporating the progenitor technology, that at the end of which Burnham would basically insist, look, I've done enough of these covert operations, I think I've proven that I can be trusted. Kovich is a code name, I know that. What's your real name? And she introduces herself as Captain Michael Burnham, and he then introduces himself as Agent Daniels, confirming that Dr. Kovich is a code name. Now, it is possible that it's not the same person. Well, obviously it is the same person. They wouldn't have done that if it wasn't meant to be the same person. He didn't say what his first name was, merely that his official title was Agent Daniels, and that Dr. Kovich was his code name. Doctor is probably an accurate title. Someone of his level of intelligence and education has almost certainly got a doctorate in something. I highly doubt that it's medical, but I suppose there could have been medical degrees, because he did seem to be a medical doctor as well. At least my impression was that. But doctor of some discipline in sciences, certainly so, and possibly a doctor of history, considering, time travel agent. Anyway, that's the updated information. Kovich is Daniels. I actually learned this information, big thank you to whoever that was, by the way, by a comment left on one of my videos that said, Kovich is Daniels. I hadn't actually watched the final episode of Discovery at that point, and I was like, awesome. Oh well. Hopefully that's not a big plot point. To be fair, it wasn't. But, you know, spoilers, people. Come on. Whatever. Comment all you want. Anyway, that is the update. There isn't really much more to it. There is a full episode, really, I have on Crewman Daniels already. And once now Discovery's finished, I'll probably start doing a few more episodes to cover the wider storylines of Discovery, as I kind of avoided Discovery bigger plot points simply because the show's been ongoing and it, you know, timey-wimey stuff going on. I just kind of avoided it until things were settled, so that I can now look at the broader stories. And I may get to that now that it is actually over. So yeah, there may be a future video with a more detailed breakdown of Dr. Kovich and, as a result, Agent Daniels. But that's the update. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.